I didn't know. Well, that's one of the announcements. Recording's in progress.
There we go.
It's always good when technology steals the show. They really don't need me to MC this, but I need to announce that if you're watching this on Zoom, please mute your Zoom because it makes it much more enjoyable for the experience. We'd love to eavesdrop and find out what you're doing, but if you could mute the Zoom, I would appreciate that very much. Good afternoon. I'm Dave Johnson, and I've been honored to be the play-by-play voice of the Washington Wizards for the last 26 years. And so this is not my first rodeo doing an event like this, but the significance of this day, certainly I feel the smile that I know we're going to be seeing for a lot of years to come, because I welcome you to our Bradley Beal contract signing press conference. We're joined today by the chairman and CEO of Mighty Metal Sports, Ted Leonsis, who joins us by Zoom. When it's your turn, Ted, don't mute your Zoom. We want to hear from you. Also, our general manager, Tommy Sheppard, head coach, Wes Unseld Jr., and Bradley Beal. You know, I've called just about every game of Bradley Beal's career, and I've watched his drive, determination, and, well, just flat out desire to want to get better, not only each game, but each practice. And I'm sure it's fueled by his wonderful family strength, his wonderful sons who urge him on. But I hear the rumor Mama Beal's the real secret to this thing, and she's really driving it. And I see the nod from Bradley Beal. That's the truth, right? Amen. So let's shout out to moms everywhere who make it happen. I know that Beal is only the second player in franchise history to play for our team for 10 or more seasons. The other player, a guy named Wes Unseld, Hall of Famer Wes Unseld. And like Bradley Beal, Wes Unseld, a Hall of Fame person, because Bradley Beal is certainly a Hall of Fame person if you really get to know him. I know the numbers, and I've got these stats that they can tell me about, that he's closing in on Elvin Hayes to be the franchise leader in career points. Yeah, you can tally that, but what you can't tally is the number of lives Bradley Beal has made a difference in our city. You can ask the folks at the Ron Brown, the kids at the Ron Brown College Preparatory School, or you can ask his teammates, or you can ask me, or anyone that he comes into touch with. He makes a difference because he cares. He really, really cares. And he cares about other people and our city. Because Bradley Beal is not only the face of this franchise, he is now very much a part of the fabric of our city. Or as I think I read it somewhere, Bradley Beal is dedicated to the DMV. And with that, we'll begin the formal portion of our press conference. Doing a good job keeping your Zooms on mute. I need this full-time job, so keep your Zooms on mute. But it's time now to hear from the chairman and chief executive officer of Mighty Metal Sports, Ted Leonsis. Ted, I know it's a special day for you.
Thank you, Dave. Welcome, everybody. And before we begin, I wanted to note and pass on to our friends, partners, and colleagues that as an organization, we are shocked and saddened by the tragic loss of former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, and our organization stands with the people of Japan, and we're thinking of you, and we look forward to seeing all of our friends and colleagues early in the fall when we go over and play a game. It is a terrific day. Dave, you can go through all of the specifics, but to me, it really cements what we are trying to build. We want to have great players that we draft and develop and sign, and who basically put their own heart, soul, and passion into helping us build the winner. And I looked at what we did with Bradley during this offseason really as a culmination of discussions and planning and work that we've done with he and his family over the years, which is, will you commit and will we commit to you to work together to try to build something great? Obviously, players in the league. They have lots of choices, and Bradley made the choice, which I think is the right one. Certainly was one in alignment with the way I look at the world, which is this is hard work and many hands are going to make light work. And our focus is now, how do we build the team that continues to have upside and can improve? And if you can show the industry, show the world that you can draft, develop, keep great players, that's how you start to make your way in to become a destination. And we think now with the team that we've put in place, that Tommy has been building, we will have a very, very good team, and we'll continue to be able to improve the team because players around the league will see that we reward and we are loyal to the people that help to get us here. I'll also say that I appreciate very much Brad's family, Brad's representation. They've worked with us and will continue to work with us to make the Wizards a better organization and one that can really become a destination for other players. I also think that this deal really speaks to Brad and how loyal and how hard working he will be to the benefit of the Wizards and his teammates. He doesn't want to be traded, and we don't want to trade him. And for us to have that kind of commitment, especially in today's NBA, I think was really a testament to what was in his heart and soul about the importance of loyalty and knowing that he would be here. And we have a lot of work to do over the length of his contract because Brad wants to win. We want to win. I want to win. And it's going to take time for us to continue to improve the team. So I'm very appreciative of the blood, sweat, and tears that he's going to put into the organization. He knows how committed we are to continue to invest and do the right things in the right way so that we can build the Washington Wizards into a really, really great team. And so I'm looking forward to answering your questions. Tommy, Wes, and Brad are here, and I'll turn it back to you, Scott, to kick us off formally up on the dais.
All right, thank you, Ted. As always, as Ted mentioned, Bradley, you play with your heart and soul. What's in your heart and soul on this day?
First, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for this being here, being present, being in this moment. It's one thing I've learned over the last few years is to embrace every moment that you're in, embrace every step, everything that you go through, good, bad, ugly, and this is a good, but it's also, it's kind of a weird time too, because just the climate of the world we're in, it's real tough for me to be super excited, right? We have Brittany Griner in Russia still, right? Highland Park just lost 6 or 7 lives, right? My hometown, St. Louis, from July 1st to July 5th, there were 22 shootings. That's tough. It's 3-4 days. But this is a celebratory moment for my family and I. But it's tough when I look at my 2 sons right here, right? And I have to figure out how do they come up in this world that is unpredictable at this point, right? Just careless. But I am appreciative of this city. I am appreciative of Ted, Tommy, Coach, you as well. But Ted and Tommy, June 28th, 2012, you guys drafted a just turned 19-year-old on my birthday. I always said that was the best day of my life. Somewhat still is. And I fast forward 10 years and I feel like I'm doing it all over again. And like I'm beyond excited that I made the decision that I made. I'm happy. I'm at peace with it. This city has loved me from that day, June 28th, 2012. They've taken me in, welcomed me with open arms as a young 19-year-old with no facial hair. Right. And I got a little peach fuzz now, but so I'm working on it. But this city has loved me through the ups and downs, right? Through moments in which I was injured, and injury prone was my label, right? Through me pushing through that and playing 82 games in numerous years, and then being an all-star, making all NBA. Like, these are all things that a lot of people didn't think I can achieve. I look at myself and I probably didn't think I can do it, but I pushed myself. I had an organization that pushed me. I had Ted, that his comment and his quote always sits with me: to whom much is given, much is expected, much is required. That always sticks with me. So nobody critiques themselves harder than me. Nobody pushes themselves harder than me. And it's amazing that now I can just sit here and be proud of myself for once. And I have to thank this organization for giving me this opportunity, because it doesn't come. It doesn't. So thank you, guys.
Bradley, thank you for sharing your heart and soul. And again, it's part of what we're about is basketball, but it's also community and connection. And that's also what we're talking about today. Tommy Sheppard, you just heard some of the words of Bradley Beal. Your thoughts?
Well, it's such a great day for the Washington Wizards franchise, and what an unbelievable opportunity as we go forward, showing the NBA this is a destination, as Ted said, and we have the opportunities to show the NBA what happens, the commitment that we'll make to our players, to their career. They're talking about one of the most coveted free agents in the market, re-signing with the Washington Wizards, committing to what he believes he can win here, and we believe we can win here. And I know it's so hard right now, the emotions of the day when you're thinking about all the things that go on in the world, as Bradley said. And I just look and I see where it all starts, staring at his family right here and how much that means to him. That's his bedrock. That's his navigational device, his compass that he chooses every single day to represent his family, his name, and putting his name with the Wizards, this partnership that we have together. When we drafted Bradley, I called him, we talked the day of the draft, before the draft ever happened. I say, happy birthday, and tonight you're going to be a Washington Wizard. I believed it in my heart that day, and every day since. And it was funny because as Bradley started playing, I would tell him, I'd say, hey, I got a call today from Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, Michael Finley, all the old heads in the NBA call and say, hey, that kid right there, I would have loved to play with him. He reminds me of us back in the day, how we played. So now with this year, we're going through the draft process, and all these kids come in and say, hey, these new generation guys we're interviewing, they said, Bradley Beal was my idol. That's who I want to be like. And I realized how fast 10 years go by. And I watch this player every single day, what he did for the Wizards out on the floor, practice court, his leadership. And then I see what he does in the community. And that's who we want to be exemplar for our franchise. And so I thank you, Bradley. I congratulate your family. I congratulate you for everything. But there is also a great deal that's expected moving forward. And nobody expects more from Bradley than Bradley, except maybe me and Wes and Ted, because I know we look back a year ago, we were at the playoffs in Philly, and there's only 5 players left from that team. We've added 9 new players since the start of last season. We are not going to sit still. We're going to continue to get better, to acquire more talent, to develop more talent. But it all starts with the cornerstones and the people that we rely on to set the tone and to move forward. And we are very confident in Bradley's leadership, very confident in the player, and very confident in our future. So thank you, Bradley.
Thank you, Bradley. And it's not lost on me. It was almost a year ago at this time, we welcomed family back to Washington as we welcomed Wes Unseld Jr. as head coach of the franchise that, quite frankly, his father helped build. And now you're coaching the franchise and coaching our franchise player, Bradley Beal.
Well, Dave, I think it's a great opportunity for me to express this to Brad. For 10 years as an opponent, you think you have an idea who a guy is. And then almost a year later, you realize there's so much more depth to the man, to the leader, to the individual, his passion, his competitive fire, it's underrated, and it's very unique to see a guy of his caliber, his stature, commit to not only the organization but to his team. And I think it's understated in this day and age that a young man would do that and make the decisions that he's made. So I've grown not only to admire the player, but to really have a lot of respect for the man, not just for what he can do on the floor, just the things that he brings to the community, how he tries to help propel this organization. It takes step after step to get to where we want to be. So, once again, I know this is a celebration, but it's also an opportunity for us to celebrate you, celebrate your family. And we've got a lot of positive things to look forward to. So I'm really excited for the opportunity to keep moving this thing forward. Tommy, obviously Ted, this partnership's a big piece of that. So congratulations. And, we, as we always say, we got a lot of work to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Bradley Beal has a lot of playing left in his career, but I'm just going to say it right now. I think one day you'll make one heck of a coach. You have the best behaved young boys I've ever seen. And that's great father and coaching. And again, it's so glad that they're here today and they're doing a wonderful job. The zone defense you got them on is just tremendous.
Yeah, we got to go zone now. We got one in the other.
And another one on the way.
Number. So.
All right, with that, we'll bring in the question and answer portion of our press conference. And we'll start with our members of the media. They're actually in Las Vegas on Zoom because Summer League is going on. Again, Ted Leonsis is with us, Tommy Sheppard, Bradley Beal, of course, and Wes Unseld. We'll begin with Ava Wallace. Ava, are you there?
I am. Thank you very much. Ted, those were really beautiful remarks, Bradley. Thank you for that. Ted, I wanted to ask you, since you mentioned how you guys don't want to trade Brad doesn't want to be traded, and obviously you've spoken of the deep loyalty over many years. I'm wondering, and I'm asking because it is such a rarity to have that formally included in a contract. Why did you want to take that extra step and include that in Brad's deal?
You have to trust me that I've come back from a lot of league meetings. I'm back on my way out to Vegas, and several fellow NBA owners have said, I wish we had a relationship like you have with your players. There's a lot of movement, a lot of non-partnership that you see around the league. And for there to be a public statement that essentially says, we have a player who wants to be here and serve out his contract, as do we, that allows your general manager to plan and to be able to have the confidence that your best player, your bedrock player, is a part of the process. And so that was something that we did. And when the player brings that to you, we're not naive, right? I mean, I read the press on occasion and I see what people are thinking. I didn't take it as a point of leverage. I took it more as a point of partnership. And all we can do is show you that that's what we're in this together. And so, this was another way for us to show Brad our commitment to him. And, with that commitment, it's helped us now to take the next step and rebuild and get the team to where it should be, very, very competitive, playoff caliber, keep adding young talent, be able to bring in players like Tommy's done during the offseason via trades and free agent signings, and be in it for the long term with us.
Okay, Ava, you okay? I will go to Chris Miller in Las Vegas. Chris?
Dave, thank you very much. Can you guys hear me, by the way? I'm in the airport. I apologize.
Yes, we can hear you.
Bradley, other day, I spoke to Monty Morris, and he said, even before coming to DC, he recognized that you were, if not the best two guard, one of the best in the league. And it is his job to, quote, make you believe that every day that you play with him. What does that make you feel when you hear a guy who has not even played on the team with you yet that has that much confidence in you as a leader?
That's amazing. Especially, you know, me being a fan of him as well and what he's done in Denver over the last few years, and Wes can attest to it. Like he's all about winning, and he's all about, you know, boosting his teammates up. You know, whether it was Will, whether it was Jokic, whether it was Jamal, like he was always about building up his teammates and making them better. And that's kind of the same mentality Russ had. Russ was the same way. Like he came in every single day and made sure that I knew I was the best two guard. Every time I stepped onto the floor, you're the best two guard. And that's always, you need that as a player at times. You know, we have confidence, we have an ego, but you know, to be able to have it amongst your peers and your teammates tell you, no, like that's like constructive criticism in a way. That's how I take it. Like he's kind of challenging me and telling me to be better, to lead us. So I'm appreciative of it. You know, Monte's my guy, and I'm happy he's on board.
Okay, Chris, thank you. And enjoy your first class seat, by the way, Chris. We hope that the flight goes well.
Leave them peanuts alone. So
That's right.
I got you.
All right. We know you're not in the middle seat. All right, let's David Aldridge. David.
Good afternoon. It's good morning here in Vegas, but congratulations to you, Brad, and to everyone. Now that this is done, I do wonder, what is the blueprint as you all of you see it, Brad, Tommy, Ted, for doing what you want to do now, which is build a team around Brad that's good enough to compete and contend for championships. How do you do that now, Brad? How do you do the dance with other players who may want to come to DC? Tommy, how do you make it happen? Ted, how do you approve or deal with the obvious expenditures that it may take to put a team that good around Brad?
Well, I won't put words into Ted's mouth, but Ted is all about winning, and whatever it takes for Tommy to make the team look like that, he's all about making that happen. You know, and that was a big part of my reasoning of coming back, was his commitment to winning just as well as mine. And a lot of that does fall on me. A lot of it has to do with winning. We win, we attract those free agents, we attract those guys that we want to get. We attract other all-stars like KP. But at the same time, we trust Tommy to make those type of moves and not sit stagnant and kind of improve our team as we go. So, you know, all I can do is trust continually what he's done and continue to trust myself, trust my teammates, and it's on us. Like, we can't continue to sit about it. Like, I'm here, right? It's over with. Like, now our commitment, like you said, GA, is to win, right? It's very tough, as coach knows, to win in this league. Like, it's not easy. So let's not sit here and act like, oh, we're going to hold up the ladder. Like, no, like, we're going to continue to build and get better each and every year and each and every day. You know, that's what we can, and that's what we will do.
All right, David, thank you. Matt Paris. Matt, are you with us?
Yeah. Hey, Brad, just following up on that, like, what gave you confidence that Ted's all about winning, or just kind of the past 3 years? And, you know, you've said that you've wanted to make this decision about winning. Just kind of what led you down that path?
My confidence has always been in Ted, and we've always been very thorough and straightforward with our relationship. Like, he's never lied to me. He's never sugarcoated anything. He's always told me that his desire for this organization is to win. If it was anything else, if he'd have told me otherwise, I probably wouldn't be sitting here, right? But that wasn't his desire. That's not Tommy's desire. Damn sure isn't coaches. So, like, we're approaching this thing here strong. Like, I believe in this vision. And a lot of it falls on me. Like, a lot of it is for me to come out and be the player that I know I can be the leader I know I can be, and lead this team. Like, I want to win a championship, and I want to do it here. And I've said it in plenty of interviews before. If I stay in DC, respect the reason that of me staying is because I believe that I can win here, right? I believe that we can win in DC, right? And so with the guys we have, I haven't stepped foot on the floor with KP yet. That can be dynamic. Me, KP, Kuz, Gav, like, we got some tools over here, right? So now it's a matter of up to us players to get out there and get our arms and feet dirty and put the work in.
You kind of referenced it, but you said something along the lines of, like, it's over with, I'm here now. Like, how much do you hope this contract kind of ends that discussion of whether you want to go, whether you want to stay? And that's kind of been the narrative about your career so far.
It's funny, Shep and I were just talking about it. It's never going to end. It's not, because now you guys are going to be like, oh, when is he going to lift his claws? Like, so now it's like, it's never going to stop. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what comes with the territory. I understand the position I'm in. And like I said earlier, the big E word, I embrace it. I embrace this position. And I approach it headstrong. You know, I don't run from anything. I know it's going to be a challenge, but I don't think God gives me anything that I can't handle. So I trust my tools, trust my relationship with him, and I'm ready to go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. There were actually 3 trade rumors just coming down the hall. That's
Hey,
a
man.
joke. You're right. It's not going to. And the soundbite, I don't want to add it from people. He says we can win here, and that's why he's here. Josh Robbins is next. Josh.
Thank you. Brad, over the last few years, many players have sought to lure you to their teams, including over the last year. How can you personally go about reversing that and try to bring the players who would be desperate to play with you on their teams potentially to Washington?
I hate comparing us to a small market, but there's small market teams out there that are winning, that have built up what they have. They built up through the draft. They're building up their young players. Like, we can do that. Like, why can't Washington do that? Right? It's not, you see the teams that go and the guys that leave and build super teams or whatever, and they're not everything what they pan out to be. And you guys end up critiquing them even harder, like, damn, look at the decision they made. Right. So it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't, you know. So it's all about being at peace, whatever decision you decide to make. And this is who I want to be. I can't concern myself with what some other player does or how it went for him. All I can do is concern myself with me, how my life is going, how my family's doing, and what's best for us. Like, that's how I approach this.
Okay, Neil. Neil, you there?
Hey, Brad. First off, congrats to you and your family. Dave talked about it. You've done a lot of work in the community, Juneteenth March, Ron Brown School, Banneker Courts. I guess, is there anything on the forefront of your mind that you're hoping to, continue giving back to the community?
Of course. The work is never done. I'm always headstrong about that, giving back, being seen, being involved, being hands-on. It's easy to just throw your name on something, but if you're not involved, if you're not, talking to the people, not developing relationships with our community, then it's purposeful. Like, it serves no meaning, So I utilize my platform and understand that I do have one, and try to uplift others and try to recognize other, smaller nonprofit groups, or, a little kid who you guys may have never heard of, but who needs help, who just wants attention for 5 minutes, because he's sick. Like, it's little things. Like, those things go way beyond hoops. Like, the ball is great. Like I said, I look at my 2 boys, and I'm trying to plan for them. What is their future like? Like, they shouldn't have to touch a ball, right? But I want to be able to provide and make sure that they have their love and care that they need, right? Not everybody gets, I understand I'm in a blessed and unbelievable situation, right? Not everybody, my mom used to always tell me, not everybody is as fortunate as you. Not everybody has the same blessings as you. Not everybody has the same talent as you. So I try to utilize my blessings and gifts and try to impact others as best as I can. And there's no way of doing that but in the community.
So I said you can. Go ahead, Neil. I'm sorry.
Thanks. For this season, obviously a lot of new pieces coming together. I guess, what do you hope is a target goal, a reasonable goal for this team this season? And how do you think you guys will be able to, accomplish those goals going into training camp?
My goal right now is to get better every day, and it's starting right now in the summer. Right, we start up with a little mini camp, get together with the guys, continue to develop our relationships now and build now. Right, that's where it starts. I hate putting, like, I'm done doing that shit. I'm not putting a number on how many wins we're getting every year. Like, that's dumb. Like, because it's not realistic. Like, we have to hold ourselves how we are on a daily basis. You can only coach and hold yourself and get better on a daily basis. So let's do that, right? And we're going to try to be 1-0 every day. So that's my goal.
And that seemed to work for another team in this town, 1-0 every day. And as I said, you can add up the points in Bradley's career, but not the number of lives he's made a difference in. This is why he's in the Hall of Fame. We have another question from David Aldrich. David?
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, I just wanted to kind of follow up on what I had asked before, and I wanted to ask Ted. Obviously, having been around the league for a long time now, whether it's a homegrown team like Golden State or Memphis, or it's a team that goes all in a super team like Brooklyn, or it's a hybrid of those two, that eventually it comes down to having to go into luxury tax, having to do all of that to put a championship team together, and then to keep a championship team together. And I just wonder what those discussions were like between you and Brad, in terms of how you told him, hey, we're going to do whatever it takes.
Well, David, we have a pretty good hockey team. We won a championship. We've kept the team together. We've had MVP players. We spend as much money as we can. We have the best training facility. We have great coaching, great staff, great infrastructure. We did the same with our WNBA team. We won a championship there. We have the winningest coach and GM in history there. We treat the players first class. We have MVP players who are committed to us and want to stay there. We've entered into new businesses and fields, be it the short-lived Arena Football League, but again, we won a championship there, and we were the standout organization. Esports has become a very, very important new category and segment. We have the best esports team in the world in Team Liquid. You see behind me one of trophies. We're back-to-back NBA 2K champs. We've built a great training facility for the Wizards. We've made incredible investments in our health and training group. We've made great investments in the infrastructure that's needed to be successful. And when I look, it's all about the Wizards. When I bought the Wizards about a little more than a decade ago, we blew the team up. We traded a lot of our players. We didn't re-sign some of the players, and we rebuilt through the draft. And we had 3 good drafts with John Wall and Otto Porter and Brad. And now we have a lot of new young players that we've drafted: Rui and Todd and Denny and Corey, now Johnny Davis. So we essentially have 5 players that Tommy's drafted that are rotation players that are going to earn time in summer league with Johnny. But Corey and Denny and Rui are really good NBA players, and they've been drafted. We know that the NBA is about stars. And so, keeping your stars is like signing a great free agent. And, we'd love to see how Brad plays with Porzingis. These are 2 very, very skilled, very unique players. And we think that'll be a good tandem. And then, as Brad mentioned, having Kuzma, Gafford, who now can be, very, very focused on rebounding and defense, and then bringing in a group of real professionals, real NBA grade players like Barton and Monte and Delon. And it's just a way to rebuild the team while you're participating in showing everyone that you want to win. And I don't buy into the you either have to win a championship or blow the team up and rebuild it. I think that you can improve by having your young players take the next step up. I think you can improve by having your players on the floor. We shouldn't forget that Brad missed half the season last year. And it's very difficult to perform at high levels when you don't have your star players, highest paid players, on the floor. And so we're going to do everything we can to get that mix right. And we're a free agent away. We will always be looking at how can we improve the team. And Tommy has been given the green light, and I've said no to nothing. and I want to win. The Wizards are where all of our focus as an organization has to be. We're in a big market. We're one of the bigger sports organizations around. We're one of the few organizations, as you know, that owns our building, owns multiple teams, owns a part of our network. We are accretive, if you will. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to improve. And so by taking your bedrock player and signing him in a great, having him play in a great building, train in a great training facility, be in front of a great fan base. We're at over 90% renewals already for our season ticket holders. We think next year will be another very, very good year. We weathered better than most teams the pandemic, which basically pandemic downturn in the economy. It's a 1,000-day kind of experience. We weathered that really, really well, which shows the durability of the excellence of our fan base and our organization and our business. So, while we're muted in our enthusiasm today, basically because of the societal issues that we're all facing, we're very, very positive that we can continue to improve and be a have team. And that's how I kind of look at the league. Are you a have team? And one thing, David, that I'd like you, because you're so experienced here, to understand is you just heard Brad talk about his faith, his family, his connectivity with the community, being at peace. Those are things that you don't hear from many NBA star players, is it? And to me, that's the biggest selling tool that we have. If you want to be happy, fulfilled, trust the organization, feel that you're a part of something, that there's a higher calling together, this is a great place to do it. Most powerful city in the world. And so I'm always upbeat when you say, prove to us that you can win and you want to win. You can see it everywhere in our organization. And we know that we haven't won a championship and haven't really put a team out that can win 50 games yet, but let's try to do it this year and let's continuously improve year after year.
We're a special city and you can do special things with special people. We'll continue on Zoom and then we'll get to in-person questions shortly. Yaron, I believe you're there. Yaron, you have a question?
Yes, thank you very much. So this is a question for Brad. Following up on the younger players, I want to focus on Denny. What have you seen in the last couple of months of last season, and then obviously this summer from him?
What I love about Denny's forget hard work. He's a willing learner. He's a willing worker, right? He wants to learn. He wants to get better. He wants to figure out what his niche is in the league. And you can see that the last few months, of the season, like coach gave him a lot more freedom to handle the ball, to be aggressive, to, make plays for his teammates. And then he took on the challenge of being probably one of our best defenders, if not our best defender, with his size, his ability to switch, so I think he's really finally starting to come into his own of realizing, okay, I can really be a two-way guy, a legit two-way guy. He's going to continue to improve his three-point shooting. He has a strong build already, but he's continuing to work out and understanding how to use his body properly in the game. And I think the sky's the limit for him. Like, he's super young. I think that's what we got to realize. He's super young. We got to let him develop. But at the same time, like, he's accepting challenges. Like, he's a willing learner. He's a willing worker. So I love that about him.
All right. And one more we'll take from Zoom. I think if we held this at midnight, Christos will still attend. He's always our man, Christos. And Christos, we appreciate you always being with us. What time is it where you are right now?
The time is 7:30 p.m. right now in Greece.
Okay, well, good. Well, Christos, thank you so much for your interest, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Brad, congratulations, first of all. What does it mean for you to stay in DC to play for the Wizards for your whole career and make something great with the Wizards, win a title or become one of the greatest Wizards of all time, or to join another team to create another super team with other superstars in this league and make something there? Why it is so important for you to win something?
Oh, I feel like the meaning would be so much greater because you grinded out everything here, especially if we win here. Like you ground out everything. You proved all the doubters wrong. Like you did everything you possibly could to make it work, and you did it. Like that will mean everything to me. That will mean more than leaving and playing with 4 other all-stars. Like, and having conversations with guys who've done that, it's not always great. It's not always fun. It's not always what you think it is. You think a guy is who you think he is, and it's totally different. Like we're seeing that. So it's you. Like I said, you stay in your lane. You embrace your situation, and for me, this organization has been nothing but good to me, and I firmly believe in my heart that I can win here. I really do.
All right, we're going to go to questions in the room, but Bradley, not only are you smooth, but your family's smooth. I wish people out there could see the pick and roll offense I just witnessed between your 2 boys going from grandma to ma. That was flawless. They would have gotten an open shot in any league. So it's obviously rubbing off. You guys are amazing. Do you have any questions for Dad? Where were you on for dinner, or when's it over?
Say tell him I want Juan Soto to come teach me how to hit. That's what
You want, all right, well, you want candy.
we don't have candy, buddy.
Where are the keys? All right. So there we have it. It's they're not only smooth, but they have the poignant questions. Where are the keys and where are the candy? All right. With that, guys, you are doing so great. I'm amazing. And the movement between mom and grandma. Did you practice that? That was amazing how smooth that was. I believe we'll start with Wes Hall. Wes.
Impossible to follow the Bill kids. So here goes. First of all, congratulations, Brad, on the re-signing. We've heard a lot of talk about loyalty today, and obviously re-signing is a great example of that. But when you think about the legacy of Bradley Beal, what does this moment mean to the legacy of Bradley Beal?
It means a lot, but it's still being written. You know, it's not over with. You know, I'm still. It's funny. People like call me old. I'm still young. I just turned 29, right? So I still got a lot of years left. I still have a lot in my tank. I don't feel like I have a lot to prove. I just want to win. I got to win. That I do have to prove, right? That I can win and be a winner. So that's what my mentality is. That's what my drive is. You know, this has been my home. You know, loyalty has never been in question. Biggest thing is, you know, do I believe we can do it here? And are they committed? And are we committed? Am I committed to doing that, you know, with them? So I'm just, like you said, I'm excited to be here, and let's get it. Like I'm ready to go. I ain't gonna lie. I'm ready to go.
Follow up real quick for Wes. To have a player sign on and show you this commitment, what does it do for you moving into your second year head coaching this team, as far as being able to build and develop the strategies that you want to employ?
Well, it's invaluable. You know, we saw a glimpse of, you know, who he is, you know, in just 40 games. So it's really exciting for me to know, you know, he'll be healthy and whole. You know, he's raring and itching to go, but, you know, he adds, you know, the compliment that we've added to him this summer, along with, you know, getting KP, Kuz, and those guys, that trio playing together essentially for the first time. I think that the potential of that is limitless. So it's very exciting for me as a coach. But like I said, he's, you know, the talent, it is what it is. That's well documented. I think it's, you know, to have him on board and know the leadership, the character. I think all of those things that play into who we want to be as an organization, how we conduct ourselves as a team, and that collective pull, I think that really helps propel us.
Scott? Okay.
Yeah, Brad, first of all, congratulations. I know there's a lot of people in Washington. So happy that you're staying here. You know, you just get from St. Louis and you've made a home here in DC. And the terminology, face of the franchise being thrown around. What does that mean to you, that terminology, and how much pride do you have of being the face of this franchise?
Oh, I try to be humble about it because I don't put myself above others in a way, but that's kind of how you're projected when you're the face of the franchise. So I understand the position and I embrace it and understand that it's a lot going into what's expected out of me. So that part I get, but it's about us as a team. How can we build this all together, right? How can I build up my teammates to be better, right? Hell, I want to make them max players, right? I want to help them build up their careers. I want to make them better, help see their potential in this league. And it's really up to franchises and great organizations and great GMs and owners who trust you. You have to develop those relationships to be that, right? That's what I said earlier in my remarks. Like that's why I'm grateful. Like these opportunities don't come all the time. You're not always given a chance to be the face of a franchise. You're not always given a chance to be the guy, essentially. So I'm honored and blessed beyond measures for sure. And I'm ready for it.
And a follow-up really
Okay.
quickly, you see your family here, your children, to sign this big contract, generational changing money, to
Mhm.
know your family set for life. What is that like for you emotionally to know, they don't have to pick up a basketball. They don't have to grind.
It's like it's a love-hate thing in some ways because I'm 100% blessed to be here and know that they don't have to work for anything. I'm speaking on my boys, but it also sucks to know that they think that they won't have to work for anything. So I have to try to find that balance and figure it out. But you don't see it all the time, especially in the Black community. So like it speaks volumes. I understand like my two parents are sitting right here right now. Like, I wouldn't be here without them. I wouldn't honestly touch a ball without those two. Like, they've taught me everything I know from hoops to financial literacy, right? And so I just thank them, man, because they're my biggest blessing. And I'm honored that I can be in this position for my family for sure. I think any of us would, any player would 100% be grateful that they can put their family in this position for sure.
Wayne, do you have a question?
Hey, Brad, first off, congratulations on your deal.
Thank you.
You look at the sign that says dedicated to the DMV. For the fans that believe in you and support you, just what would it mean to you to like you say, bring a winner here and a championship here for them?
I know what I mean, everything. The city is hungry for a championship. The city is hungry for DC, the Wizards in particular, to be that team again, right? They want us to be relevant. They want us on TV all the time. They want this, Cap One packed out, right? And it's up to us to do that. We can't talk about it and say we're going to do this, do that. Like we gotta put into action. We gotta go out there and win games. And that's my main focus and drive. It ain't numbers and all that. It's how we get W's. Like I want to see dub after every game. That's what I want to see. That's my goal.
All right. You're about to find out where your dad's keys are. So you've done well. Nice round of applause for Bradley Beal's sons. Boy, amazing family to witness today. And that's what this day really has been about. A special organization in a special city coming together with us.
No, sir. No.
Okay. So he was good.
Yeah, I have the keys. You know how to drive?
Oh, yeah.
I'll give them to you after this, buddy. 1 second.
All right. So one wants a car, one wants candy. That's simple. That gets you through life. Again, a special day with special people. Thank you for sharing with us. And again, congratulations to Bradley Beal.
Thank you.